Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Bwtm Sports Gaming. We are live at the moment. We're live at the moment with Uncle James Ali Bashir. Let's go straight over to him. Uncle, how are we doing?
Everything is good. Everything is good.
Fantastic. All good, Uncle. We're going to continue from where we left off yesterday. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fantastic, Uncle. So, we were talking about Vlad Sirenko and his fight next Sunday. So how are things going in terms of preparations?
Everything is right on the money. We're right on time and we're ready to go.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, Uncle, I know you have sitting beside you today Vlad Sirenko. There's a few questions I'd like to ask Mr. Sirenko with regards to last week or 2 weeks ago's events. Obviously, him sparring Daniel Dubois and JOYCE. His thoughts on the upcoming fight and the heavyweight division. So if I could get a quick word with him, and we'll come straight back to you, Uncle.
All right, there you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, the current undefeated heavyweight champion, Vlad Sirenko. Vlad, by the way, do you have a nickname yet? Maybe Iron Head, Too Fast. You got a nickname?
Sound is gone.
The sound can't be going. Really?
The sound is gone.
The sound can't be gone. Let's check this. Hello? No, the sound's there. Sound is there. It's your end.
No sound.
Your end. No sound. Your end. Your end. Sounds good, my end. It's your end.
No sound.
Yeah, your end. My sound's good. Your end. You guys have got sound, not mine. Your end. You, I can hear you. Your end. Right, I can hear you again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? It's not my end, it's your end. I can hear you. I can hear you.
I think
hello?
This earphone is a bad idea.
It was doing good until I switched off. It's not anymore.
Try. Hello? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? It's your end. Definitely your end, not my end. It's definitely your end. It's not my end. I'll try again. Wait.
Hello?
Hold on.
Hello? I got you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Right, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Right, let's try again because I'm seeing sounds from your end. Let's go.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Vlad?
Yes. Now you
Right. Okay, Vlad, how are we doing?
Everything is good. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. So let's talk. So I was asking the question, have you got a nickname yet?
No.
No nickname yet. Iron Fist, Iron Head, Left Hooker. What? We got. Didn't have a nickname.
You know, in our culture, we're giving nicknames for the dogs. People have a name totally, and it's always somewhere here, you know, and like, I have a name.
Okay, fair enough. No nickname yet. Okay, so how you feeling? How things in camp? How you feeling? Obviously, the last fight. Let's talk about the last fight first. Bit of a bit of a dodgy moment you had in the first round. Got clipped, but you came back, which is good. Thank goodness. You came for the fight. How was it for you?
Um, yeah, it's kind of experience for me, but I'm very good. This camp was so good, We did everything what we want, and even more, Um, atmosphere was great. Bashir was back, We really enjoyed everything what we did. Everything on the right spots, I'm ready to fight, and everything is good. We
So how
did.
much do you know about your opponent?
I don't know a lot, but I saw him to fight in a live. Um his previous fight, I was on that show, and I was giving a comments about that, live. I was talking. It was
Oh,
first time for me.
so
I,
did he hear what you were saying?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't ask him about that. like
Okay, go ahead.
I know him a bit because, boxing is not such a big thing, and boxers know each other. But I know him last a couple of fights, and I didn't hear about him before that.
So was it him that tried to take the belt from you? Did he try and take your belt from you?
Yeah, it was kind of stuff for TV. They was
Yeah.
making promo video. Yeah,
Okay. Did he really want your belt, or was he just doing that? Did he actually want your belt?
he was
Did you
doing
feel he
it, but
wanted your belt?
yeah.
He wanted your belt. Should have for TV. Should have slapped him as well for TV as well. That'd been better.
I don't like when people want my belts.
Okay, so we have to talk about a few things. Remember the interview we did when you talked about Dubois and Joyce, and you sparred both of them, and you said that Dubois was a bit raw, but you said Joyce, would handle the situation. What are your thoughts now, having watched Dubois and Joyce fight?
I was from the beginning. I was saying it's like a 50-50 chances for both of them. Uh, these guys are really, really hard-hitted guys, and I really don't know who going to win. But fight in the past, and I'm so sorry for Daniel that he got that injured. It's not good. I think he will get better, and be back in action. Um, I cannot say that I really enjoy the fight. Technically, they so big and so strong guys, and technically they not so good, I think. But styles making a fight, maybe both of these fighters not such good styles. It's just my personal opinion. But I
Okay,
know they very very hard-hitted guys.
there was a lot of talk in the UK. A lot of the the ex boxers were saying that Daniel Dubois quit rather than he took the knee because his corner didn't pull him out. What are your thoughts on it?
You know, I'm a guy who been in the ring many times, and I know. Uh, yes, he quit, but look what happened with his health. Um, he get a bad damage there, and like it's very difficult to handle that kind of pain and that kind of pressure. When you there in the ring inside. It's very easy to talk when we sit in here and we're watching video and we're saying, look at this guy, he's quitting and stuff. Just go inside and try to do something like that. Not everyone can do that. That I do respect both of the guys. They did a good fight.
Now, there's a possibility if uh, Joshua vacates, he'll be fighting your countryman Alexander Usyk, a Joyce Usyk, a rematch of the WBS or WSB, may I say. What do you think?
Um, about fight Joyce Usyk in the past. I think Joyce wasn't that good like he is now, and definitely if they will fight, I mean Usyk and Joyce now, it's going to be a different kind of a fight than before. and if they will fight for title, it will be 12 rounds, and it will be another kind of gloves. It will be another kind of teams and experiences and stuff. It will be very interesting fight for me. Um, Same will be with Joshua. Because I think Joshua and Joyce they're very close to each other, but Joshua technically, for me, much better than Joyce. Joyce looking like a bit like a robot. But his good side is his punching power. Not every heavyweight punching like Joyce do.
Okay, okay. What are your thoughts now also on Alexander Usyk, who fought Chisora not too long ago? What have you made of his heavyweight debut or his recent visit to the
Yes, it
heavyweight
was
division?
his second fight in heavyweights. I'm pretty sure it wasn't best performance from Alexander. I'm pretty sure he can do better, but we have what we have. He get a win, and it wasn't best his performance, but he won, and it's nothing to talk about.
It's interesting. Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, did you watch it?
No, I didn't. I wasn't really interested in this fight because I think that these guys already show people who they are. They are living legends. And it wasn't really necessary to go back to the ring. Maybe just to make some money and stuff.
What does it feel like fighting in Ukraine? Being back in Ukraine fighting?
It's very good. It's enjoyable because it's my home. It's my hometown where I will fight. It's kind of a pressure, but professional sportsmen athletes must handle all of that, and I'm also good. But it's very, very nice to be back home.
So with all the COVID and all the stuff that's been going with COVID, how has that affected you on a personal and a professional level?
Oh, it was tough. Personally, for me, like first in the 5 years that I'm staying so long at home, and it's kind of something new for me. Because I used to travel a lot, and but now I'm like stuck home, and I don't know how to keep busy myself. You just going for training, and you don't know when your fight will happen and stuff like that. And it was a bit tough. But it was
Okay.
enjoyable. I did many things what I wasn't doing before. I had the time for my studying, for a lot of things. And
Tony, go ahead.
and now I'm happy to be back in action.
Absolutely. Tony Yoka and yourself was working together. You went to Paris to get some sparring in. What was it like sparring with Tony Yoka?
I was going there before, and the sparring with him is always good. It's always um, good experience for me. He is Olympic champion. He is doing very well in the professionals. Um, they treating us very well in Paris. Totally, I'm always happy and glad to go there.
Tell me, the sparring you get world class sparring. You sparred world class fighters. How important is it for you when you go into spar that you're not sparring guys you can just knock over with a left hook, but you're actually getting resistance and having some difficult sparring sessions? How important is it for you in your career?
I think it is very important because when you're going in the ring with the top class fighters, you can see what you have to work on and what you're doing well, what you're doing bad, and it's giving you kind of a motivation that, look, I'm doing good with these guys, but they are top guys. Maybe I'm also top guy.
How did you obviously now that experience you had, the last experience you had, you were a bit heavier than you usually are. You had a little of a crisis to come through. What was the key point that you learnt from that situation for you as a fighter?
Life always bringing us a new kind of experience, new life situations, and you must handle it, and you must think and make decision, get that experience, and move on. Everything was happened to me in the past, you know. I always thinking about that. I'm always getting some decisions. What was wrong? What was good? You know. And in the future, I'm trying to be not trying to do same mistakes again. You know.
Final
And
question. Will we see you in 2021 fighting in the UK?
I hope so. You know, UK is a big boxing country. Boxing is a huge in UK, and if I will do good, you know, definitely I will come to Great Britain.
Fantastic. Pulev, Joshua, who you picking?
I think Joshua will beat Pulev. Pulev is very, not very old, but he is old. He
Okay,
didn't have that kind of a motivation, I think, you know. But in
okay,
heavyweights, it's very difficult to predict something because it's heavyweights. Everything can happen, you know.
okay. Fair enough. Vlad Sirenko, thank you so much once again, and all the best next Sunday.
Thank you. See you
You're
next
welcome.
time.
Take care, chap.
Bye.
Uncle Bash,
Yeah, what can I do for you?
so let's talk. Let's talk. I sent you the tape of Anthony Yard versus King Arthur, Lyndon Arthur. Yard
Yeah,
says that he felt he was robbed. He was in control of the fight. Lyndon Arthur said he won the fight basically with just his left hand. Your thoughts?
I scored the fight 115, 113 Arthur. There were many things that Anthony Yard could have and should have done. You know, especially when he saw himself falling behind on the scorecard. I mean, Arthur is the champion. And as history goes, you have to go in and dominate. You have to go in and prove to the people, to the fans, that I'm actually winning this fight. You can't go out in there on a whim and a prayer and hope that you win because you have some flashes of brilliance. You know, in my mind, he didn't do enough. And actually, you could have scored that fight 116, 112 because I felt that Anthony Yard fell behind on those scorecards early. I don't think that he did enough, nearly enough, to take the title, you know. And I'm being kind calling the fight 115, 113, but I really want to say 116, 112 because those first 5, 6 rounds he gave away. I thought he gave those fights away, and he might have won maybe 2 or arguably 3 rounds in the last part of the fight. But I didn't have to fight that close. You know, the
Who is
judges
to,
had it close, but I didn't have it close.
who is to blame? Is it the trainer? Is it the fighter? Or a combination of both?
You know that if there's such thing as blame, the blame would have to be directly on the corner. Because, like I said, there are many things in that fight that Anthony Yard could have and should have done, especially when he saw himself falling behind on the scorecards. Uh, for instance, I never heard anybody mention in the corner that Yard should cut off the ring, put foot pressure on Arthur. Nobody ever said put foot pressure on him. Nobody never, ever said in that corner, cut the ring off. He followed Arthur around the ring the entire night. He never made an attempt. He never made a serious attempt to cut the ring off and engage him and gamble. When you're falling behind on the cards, you have to take the time and gamble. You have to take the time and say, look, I'm going to lay it all on the line to go out here and take it over. And he stepped it up in the last, in 11th, 12th round, but too little, too late.
Um, there's a lot of talk of Arthur's hand being damaged in that fight from the first half of the fight, and the corner not recognizing Arthur basically damaged his right hand. That's why he didn't throw it. But
Well,
Yard's corner did pick up on it.
like I said, the trainers, the trainer in the corner has got to make observation. This is the same thing that I was alluding in the Alexander Usyk fight. The trainers did not observe the fact that Derek Chisora was exhausted. He was exhausted after the seventh round. I would have had Usyk settle down and start taking the fight to Chisora. Of course, on angles, you couldn't take the fight to Chisora head on, but I felt that he could have settled down and took the fight to Chisora by attacking Chisora repeatedly on angles. But that didn't happen because nobody made Alexander Usyk aware of the fact that Chisora was exhausted. So is the case in this Arthur fight. Nobody made Yard aware that that there may be, I would have guessed that something was wrong because he wasn't throwing the right hand. So I would have had him to cut the ring off, push him back to the ropes, which Yard could have done easily because Arthur didn't show any interest in mixing it up with Yard at all. So I would have had a Yard settle down, cut the ring off, and gamble. I would have told him, say, listen here, you're falling behind on the card. It, the trainer has got to be realistic with the fighter. It's got to be realistic. You got to make it clear to the fighter, say, listen, this is what you're doing wrong, and I'm giving you this notice so that you can correct it. You have to go out there, correct it. If you can't correct it, you have to attempt to correct it.
Do you think lessons were learned from the Kovalev fight? Because I said before in the preview, if you can't get past the jab, forget it. And he couldn't get past the jab.
Well, you know what? Again, he was available for the jab. He never made up his mind that, hey, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to put some pressure on him. I'm going to eat what I got to eat, but I'm going to get inside and I'm going to do some damage. So he never really sat down and gambled. Nobody told him to gamble. Nobody had any urgency in his corner to get him started. You saw some eagerness at the latter part of the fight, to say, hey, go out there and make a fight out of it. And you saw it in the 11th and 12th round, Anthony Yarde start coming on, but too little, too late. You got to settle down and roll the dice, especially when you're in jeopardy of losing the fight. You got to roll the dice. I'm coming
So
for you.
the question that I've been asked is it about Yard leaving his trainer or about his trainer being sacked?
Please repeat yourself.
Is it about Yard leaving his trainer or sacking his trainer?
Basically, it's the same outcome.
Well, there's different ways of going about it, isn't there?
I mean,
Well, you're basically sacking someone. You're telling them straight you ain't good enough. Changing trainers might be like, you are a good trainer, but I think we've reached our limit.
this seems to be a big problem. Except in boxing. Boxing, boxers are very tolerant with somebody screwing up their careers. They're very tolerant. In the corporate world, you don't have those kind of opportunities. In the corporate world, you either have it or you don't have it. I think that it's a situation where Yard needs to sit down and reassess what happened in that fight, and he needs to confront the people in the corner and have a serious talk with them about going forward, because that's his second loss, and he cannot afford to lose in the beat. He's saying that he got robbed. I don't think he got robbed. I don't think so, in my opinion. Now,
I don't
somebody
either.
else,
Don't either.
I understand other people have opinions too, but in my opinion, He didn't get robbed. He was lucky, in fact, that the scorecards was as close as they were. You know, but I don't see him getting robbed. I thought he lost the fight. And honestly speaking, it could have been 116, 112.
With a style like Yards, which seemed to me not one that's very adaptable, seems to be able to fight the same way all the time. He's got no adaptability. We saw Arthur, he fought one way against Dex Spellman, and he's fought another way against Yard. He's shown a versatility. Yard doesn't come across as a versatile fighter, same way all the time.
To me, when I watched Anthony Yarde out there, he spent a lot of time posing and twisting and turning, but wasn't doing nothing. I saw him doing a lot of moving and ducking and dodging and stepping here and stepping there and doing this and doing that, but he wasn't throwing punches. And that's what caused him to fall behind on the scorecard. I would have made indication to him, stop doing all of that. Stop doing all of that and fight.
Can you, because he spent so much time with this system that he's got around his trainer, can he break those habits and kick on to be a more accomplished fighter with another trainer? Is that possible, or is it too late for Yard?
How old is Yarde?
He's 28 or 29.
No, it's not too late. It's not too late. He's still a young guy. It's not too late to change. He still has room to improve. He has time to improve. You know, but you can't go out there guessing in a fight. You got a 1 minute in the corner to give concise, exact information to your boxer, and that boxer has got to go out there and try to execute the advice that you're giving him. You know.
Oh, he's
And
wait, he's
Yarde,
but correction, Yard is almost 30.
well, he's still a young guy. 30 years old is not a death sentence. You know. He seems to want to do it. He has a lot of desire to do it. So yeah, I think that it's still time for him. But you can't just go out there with a cheerleading squad saying lions in the camp and all that other nonsense, because that's not going to help you. Saying cheerleading, you know, saying lions in the camp, lions in the camp. Lions in the camp what? Lions in the camp what? What is that? What is that? That's a cheerleading cry.
Lions in the camp. Lions in the camp. Lions
Uh-huh.
in the camp.
And every time he said lions in the camp, he's getting punched in the face with a jab. You know what I'm saying? So it means very little. Lions in the camp. Lions in the camp.
Uncle, lions.
Yeah. Oh, I should say a little with a roar, right?
Louder. Lions.
Yeah. Well, the lions in the camp. Like I said, Anthony Yarde was very, very fortunate that the people said, "Hey, you got a split decision," because I didn't have it as a split decision. In my opinion, it could have been 116, 112.
Uncle, I want to talk a bit about trainers. And we've been here before, and I spoke about something about 2 weeks ago, alluding to Anthony Yard and Daniel Dubois. 2 weeks in a row, won back-to-back money, simply because if you're not doing it in the gym, why do these people suddenly expect it to happen in the ring? If you're not having top quality sparring in the gym, why do people expect you to put on top quality performances inside the ring?
Well, yeah, like I said before, it's hard to determine. You have these third generation trainers. I'll say third generations because the generation behind me, they just disappeared. A lot of those trainers don't, Pepe Carrera and those kind of guys, they disappeared. Jenks Morton, Pepe Carrera, those kind of guys, I don't see around no more. So now,
Pepe Correa is a truck driver.
yeah. But I'm saying he was of another generation, you know, of another generation. And now you have these third generation guys around. If they have a success with one fighter, then it's very difficult to teach those guys because they have that one fighter that they have success with. Now their head is as big as the globe itself. So it's hard to get across it. I've been, like for instance, I've been in a lot of places in the world. And instead of young guys coming to me and saying, listen, could you teach me something about the sport? Could you teach me something about boxing? Mind you, I've been doing this 51 years. I've been in some big corners. I didn't train the fighters all the time, but I was giving the fighters information. I was in those camps, right into Muhammad Ali's camp. And I learned. I learned because I asked questions. I learned because I was studious. I learned because I stayed under the old trainers and I pumped them for information. I pumped them constantly for information. Now the guys that I'm around now that I encountered throughout the world, I don't care whether I'm in Australia, whether I'm in Panama, whether I'm in Colombia, or whether I'm in New York. The young guys that's out there coaching fighters now, they seem more interested in trying to impress me than they do with learning from me. You know, they're out there doing a lot of fancy pad work and tricks with mitts and stuff like that there. And they look for my approval with their actions. They don't have to say it with their actions. And if they're fortunate to come up with one champion, they win a belt, a NABF, a USBA, or even a world title, they stick their chest out and say, I got a world champion. But now it's easy to get a world champion as opposed to 1960s and 1970s. It wasn't that easy. But now it's relatively easy to get a world championship. You got the WBO, the WBC, the IBF, the WBO, you know, the WBC. You know, it's just so many titles out there that, you know, a person can grab a belt. You know, so most of the young trainers around, they're not interested in learning. They're interested in being egotistic. They're interested in saying, I did this here, and that's my part. They act like the old time pimps when they had prostitutes. You know, I've got 7 whores out there. You know, this is how this. No, I'm telling you, this is.
You're absolutely right, Uncle. It's true.
You know, and the boxers themselves, they put themselves in a place where they're being abused like whores because they won't stand up to these guys and say, look, either you piss or get off the pot. You know,
Uncle, I've got people just firing questions left, right. So I'm going to shut up and just throw the questions to you. First of all, the question asks, did you ever meet Customato? If so, what was he like?
I met Customato on a couple of amateur circuits, but you know, we had a couple of words, but the kind of words that's between coaches in an amateur setting. But I never sat down and had a one-on-one with Customato.
Okay, next question. Does Uncle Bashir think that Yard's pad work has created this pouring, ineffective jab he has developed?
Say that again, please.
Does Uncle Bashir think the Yard's pad work has created this pouring, ineffective jab that he has developed?
I can't say yay, I can't say nay because I don't know that much about it. But his jab was nothing. It was nothing. It was like non-existent. It was like he was jabbing at air. For the most part, he made a whole lot of moves. Like I said, he was bending and bobbing and shaking this and that and this and that, and he wasn't punching off it. So if you're not punching off it, it's all it did goes to naught. It's nothing.
Let's see this one here. Question. Did Uncle meet Joe Louis or Rocky Marcia, any of the legendary heavyweights other than Ali?
Joe Louis I met. Marciano was a bit before my time.
What's Joe Louis like?
You know, Rocky Marciano's brother had a gym down in Jersey City years ago, and he and I used to chop it up all the time, you know. But that's as close that I got to Rocky Marciano. I met Joe Louis on 2 occasions,
What's he
and
like?
he was an old man then. He was an old man. You know, he's in the winding part of his life, so you know, I just met him. You know, I didn't like I said, I didn't sit down and chop it up with him.
Did you ever get to meet my favourite fighter of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson?
No, I never met the Sugar Man. I never met him.
Loved it. I love him. Love him. Let's go here. Ruben Grass, there was a discussion going around saying British trainers are too selfish and don't share knowledge between themselves, and that's why American trainers are better. What's your thoughts on this, Uncle?
Well,
Ruben
like I
Grass.
said, there's a breakdown. There's a breakdown throughout the world. Like I said, I've been many places. Many places. I've trained in many gyms across the world. And everybody is egotistic. Everybody got their chest stuck out like I did that, or I did this, or I did that, I did this, I did that. And nobody is coordinating. Nobody is embracing each other. Nobody is lending a hand to the next person because everybody thinks they know. And they don't know. They don't know because they have not gotten under any of the knowledgeable older trainers and asked questions. I'm the trainer that I am because I got behind the old trainers. Sam Solomon, Lee Black, Tommy Parks, you know, Carmine
Luther Burgess.
Graziano. I spent years around these guys. Years around these guys. And I asked questions. Right up to Emmanuel Stewart, I asked questions. I always pumped them for information. Why did you tell them that? Why did you do that? Why did you instruct the fighter to do that? I always ask questions. But today's trainers don't ask those questions because they all assume that they know. And I say assume emphatically. You know, they all assume, oh, I know, or can't nobody tell me. You know, you're 30 years old, you're 35 years old, even 40 years old, and you know, that's what I'm thinking, that you know, and you're just 35, 40 years old. What could you know?
How you know? Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
you're still growing up. You're still a young man at 40 years old. You're still a young man. You know, you're still a young man. When I was 40 years old, you know, as studious as I was still an airhead. I still have so much to learn. You know, I'm one year shy of being 70 years old now. I'm months away from being 70 years old.
2 years younger than
I
my
can,
dad.
yeah, and I can still remember. I can still remember when I was 40, and I look at my condition, my mental condition, my social condition, my life condition at 40 years old, and now I look at it when I'm 69 years old, and I say, damn, you know, I can't believe that I did this. I can't believe I was thinking like that. I can't believe it. You understand? Your perspectives are different at 69 as opposed to being 40. But the one thing that I did do in this boxing world, I learned. I learned because I had a passion. I learned because I wanted to understand boxing. That's why I call my operation precision craft. I try to do everything to precision. You know, I try to make all of my efforts concerning my boxes and my boxing apparatus. I try to form something saying this is precision craft. I don't want to go out there on a whim, on a prayer, wishing and wanting. I want to be as accurate as I possibly can.
Right.
The trainers
Uncle,
today, that's why the trainers can't get nothing done with the boxers because they don't know. Nobody in Yard's corner said, look, cut the ring off, stop following the guy around, cut the ring off, and go to his body. I never saw Yard gamble. I never saw him with an attitude saying, you know what? Enough is enough. Let's fight. We're gonna fight now. I'm gonna make this a dog fight. He never did that.
next thing. How much does Uncle Bashir think people's misapplication of the Mayweather version of the shoulder roll has hurt them?
You know, I said to you some years ago
Yeah.
that
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones, and Floyd Mayweather have gotten more people got knocked out trying to emulate these guys, and those styles were made
For them.
for them.
Right.
Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, those styles was made for him, for them. And everybody that tried to emulate those styles either lost or got beaten up badly.
That's right.
So they should let that style go and create their own style,
Correct.
starting with the basics. I teach every boxer the
The jab.
basics to start out. I teach them the basics and let them form their own style. But Floyd trying to do the shoulder roll and stuff, I've seen people come to the emergency room with the shoulder roll. They be in the emergency room still knocked out.
Can you imagine?
You
Uncle,
understand?
next question. Any amateurs, heavyweights in USA to look out for?
You know, I can't say yay or nay because I haven't had time to sit down and study the amateurs, you know. I'm so involved with the pro operation that I haven't had time to sit down like I used to many years ago. I used to go
That's
to
what,
the amateurs.
Uncle, that's what you need me around for. I need to be a talent scout, bring the talent through.
Yeah, possibly so because I can't do it all, you know. My hands are full with guys like Vlad Sirenko, you know. I'm putting all my energy into Vlad Sirenko.
But you know, I've said
I'm,
this with you
I'm going to
before.
I'm going to I'm going to the dance. I'm going to the dance with Vlad Sirenko.
All right,
I'm
we're
going.
going to come back to that with you in a minute. Next question. Ask Uncle Bashir why fighters do nothing for 11 rounds, Danny Garcia, and come out for the 12th throwing everything they have after lost 11 rounds.
Ask the question again, please.
Why do fighters do nothing for 11 rounds and come out in the 12th round throwing everything that after they've lost 11 rounds?
Because they realized they didn't do nothing for 11 rounds, and they're rolling the dice. They're rolling the dice in that 12th round. You know, I understand that Pacquiao has asked to fight Errol Spence. I
Yeah, I heard
understand that
that.
Pacquiao has requested that he said that he wants to fight Errol Spence.
What do you think?
Why would a guy 41, 42 years old wish to fight a young, strong bull like Errol Spence? Why? Because Pacquiao sat down and watched him and said and saw something. He saw something in Errol Spence that says I can beat him. That's why he's doing it.
You know what I think he's thinking?
Why?
Speed. Because Danny Garcia was landing, he's going to think speed. The problem with Pacquiao is he's too small. And Spence's physical strength was able to bully Garcia back, and he'll bully Pacquiao. He'll bully Pacquiao. Pacquiao's going to have to find a straight left hand on him.
Pacquiao's got a reservoir of wisdom. Pacquiao's got a reservoir of wisdom, and he knows how to apply it. He's going to go in there and he's going to upset Spence. He's going to upset him. It won't be easy. It never is. But if he decides to go in the fight against Errol Spence in his next fight, Pacquiao's going to win it.
Okay.
And if Pacquiao goes in there and beat Spence, that puts him over Mayweather. If he goes in there and pulls that victory off against Errol Spence, that will put him over Mayweather. His achievement.
He'd be the greatest fighter of all time, wouldn't you think? Or one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Listen, this guy is fighting young guys.
He's beat up Broner. He's beat up. Well, I knew he'd beat up Thurman.
Yeah. I can't see Mayweather at no point in his career taking those kind of chances.
Wow. Wow. Uh, uh, I think this shoot one says, I think Yard is worried about running down his battery since the Kovalev fight. He's much more cautious.
In this fight that he had the other day against Arthur, he was like safety first. It was almost like it says that like he was an advocate against boxing. Like he said, we should ban boxing the way he was fighting. He didn't do nothing. Like I said, he did a whole lot of twisting and turning and ducking and dodging and this and that, but he didn't do nothing off of it. Did you see Yard in there? He was just ducking and bending and
Well,
bobbing and this
Dad,
and that.
Dad, Uncle, I said to everybody, I want anyone who's listening said, Arthur's jab is going to win him the fight. Plain and simple. Oh no, Yard's going to knock him out. I said, once a man's got a jab, he can shut you down. Hey, just this jab, just shut Yard down. Shut him down. Every time Yard
Look,
tried to
Anthony
do something.
Yard, and if you look at Anthony Yard in the corner, he was exhausted, but he was exhausted from doing nothing. All of the twisting and turning he was doing, he wasn't doing nothing off of it. You know, look what I said before. In the corporate world, you know, if you're the CEO of some big company or something, you can't go out there and do a half-hearted job and expect to keep your job. You know, people get fired all the time. You know, OLEKSANDR terminated my services. To this day, you know, I don't know why I got terminated. He never told me that I was dissatisfied with this. I was dissatisfied with that. He never told me. He just said that I no longer need your services. That was it. Okay, cool. But he never said that I was dissatisfied with this part of your services or that you didn't provide me with this. No, he could never say that there because he was with me for 3 years. For 3 years, I was accurate. For 3 years, I was on point. And then suddenly, after he wins the title, after one title defense, he says, I no longer need your services. But he never explained to me. You know, usually when a person is relieved of a position, then it's the one that's doing the relieving to say, hey, I'm terminating your services because this, that, the other. You know, I really don't care. You know, that was his prerogative. If he wants to do that, then fine. But you're supposed to say, look, this is the reason I terminate your services. You know, I'm on point. You know, like I said, the name of my services is Precision Grab Boxing. If you want to learn the etiquette of boxing, come to me and I can teach you the etiquette of boxing. But I can't go out and win the fight for you. You got to go out there and win the fight on your own, with your own heart, with your own will. You got to go win the fight your own. But I can teach you how to do it.
Uncle, people want to know if you're at Santa's grotto or with the ladies.
Am I what?
Are you at Santa's grotto with the ladies? Your background. Can you show us where you're at? People are very interested to know where you are. Very nice. Very nice. This is in Ukraine, right? Wow. Yo, Vlad, I'm coming to Ukraine. Hook me up, bro.
We had a pretty classy restaurant here in the city of Kiev, Ukraine.
Hey, yo, tell Vlad he needs to hook me up, man. Vlad, yo,
Yes.
you need to hook me up in Ukraine, man. Your country's beautiful.
Thank you. You must come here.
I want to come. Hey, you know your media covers me a lot. You know, covers that a lot. Anything we do, Uncle Bashir, and if you say something, next day it's in their papers, in their media online.
Okay.
UA Boxing News. You need to give them a shout out.
Okay, come here. Buy a ticket tomorrow.
I'm coming.
No, I'm not joking. You can come for the fight.
I will have time to get to the fight. Will I have time?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Book a ticket. Come
Anytime.
to the. Hey yo, they want us to do swabs in the nose before we leave the country.
I also going to do that shit tomorrow for my fight. You know.
You've got a beautiful country, man. A
Yeah, you
beautiful
must come and
country.
see. You will enjoy it better when you will see it personally. You know.
I want to soon,
Okay.
very soon.
But better to do it when it will be a summertime, not the winter time. Because
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken, it's -6 or 7 outside.
No, you keep that, bro. You keep that, bro. Keep that to the summer. It's beautiful, but it ain't that beautiful. Keep that winter to yourself, man. I don't want any of that.
Yeah, but Bashir is enjoying, you know.
The summer,
He's
yeah, I do know winter
he's
stuff. It's
enjoying a
cold enough
cold
here as it
season.
is. Yeah, saying, Uncle. So,
How you survive in the cold, Bashir? Tell the secret.
I'm good, man. You know, I'm good.
you know what it is? The only way I can survive out there is to have a Ukrainian lady out there. Otherwise, I ain't handling it out there. That's the only way you can do it. Sorry.
And the word is mum on that. I'll just keep quiet when it gets bad.
Oh, dear me. So, okay, Vlad, do you know anything about Victor Faust? He's highly rated in Ukraine.
Let me see.
Victor Faust.
Victor Faust.
He's
Yeah,
Ukrainian, heavyweight.
I was fighting him. Yes, I lost him once in a semi-final of Ukrainian Championship in 2015.
How good is he?
He's
Or
okay.
how good was he?
Um, he's good. You know, he is that kind of guys who is like a Klitschko style. They keeping you all the time on a distance, and it's very difficult to get close to him and land a punch. He's using a plus minus same style, you know.
Wow. Okay, thanks, Vlad. Appreciate that. Uncle, question being asked. Would a sports psychologist or other training methods help Adrian Broner to let his hands go under pressure or freeze up?
Say that again.
The idea of a sports psychologist. So would you for example, would you bring a sports psychologist in to work with Vlad Sirenko?
No.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Why?
Because a sports psychologist ain't gonna help when he get hit on the chin.
But sports psychologists will teach him to visualize and focus more, right?
Excuse me in the audience, but get the fuck out of here. Look, this is boxing. This ain't no tic-tac-toe. Look, my guy is there to fight and all that psychology shit. See if it do you any good when you're getting off the canvas. Psychology
Oh,
and all of that nonsense. I don't believe in all that stuff. I don't. They're trying to make boxing something that is not. You know, nobody's gonna care about no psychology. When you get hit around the liver with a good body shot, that psychology stuff ain't gonna help you. I don't
yeah,
believe in that crap.
absolutely.
Sports
Yeah,
psychologists. I don't want to make boxing any more difficult than what it is.
but I guess you've been through the years. I mean, Ali didn't need no sports psychologist, did he? Lennox
Look,
was mentally pretty strong.
look. Kenny Norton used a sports psychologist when he fought George Foreman.
That did him a little good.
Uh-huh.
Got knocked out
Yeah.
real
When
bad.
George Foreman hit him with the first shot, I don't think the look that was in his eyes wasn't saying that I need my psychologist. He was looking for an ambulance service. You understand? Because George Foreman hit him that hard. I just don't want to make my beloved sport of boxing something that is not. All that psychology stuff, all of that conditioning coaches and all that stuff. I don't buy into that deal. For people saying that, look, we're doing this, we're doing that, we got vitamins over here, we got this and that over there. The bottom line is that fighters get exhausted, they get tired, they get hurt, and if they don't come back on their own, with their own heart and their own mindset, not even the trainer can help them out there. The boxer got to help himself with his own will, his own heart, his own tenacity, his own brain. He got to get himself. Up off the floor, and he got to want to win.
Jermaine Sterling says Uncle Bashir can give Vlad all the damn psychological and emotional support he needs.
Yeah, yeah. Vlad Sirenko and we understand each other. I love working with Vlad Sirenko because he's such a studious guy. I can push him to the limits. Vlad Sirenko takes it. Vlad Sirenko has shown up for every single sparring session I've ever made for him. Every single one. I can't think of a time where Vlad Sirenko did not show up. I can't think of a time that Vlad Sirenko said, "Oh, my neck hurt, my back, my toe." I've never, ever had that problem
All right, let
with
me ask
Vlad
Vlad
Sirenko.
No, okay, let me ask Vlad Sirenko if he's talked about his back, his arm. Right, Vlad, as your back, as your head, as your arm, have you been in so much pain that you've not wanted to serve to training?
Yeah, sometimes, but you have a plan that you must go on. Like,
Okay,
you know, it's a building your
mental.
mentally power. You know, if look, if I have a training plan, I have a sparring, and I'm not going to do it because some kind of injury and stuff. I will feel like I'm quitting and stuff, you know, and it will make me soft in my head mentally. A lot of times I just want to say, just like, come on,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
no,
How much out of 1 to 10 is Uncle Bashir a pain in the backside or pain in the ass when you're being pushed? Like when you're at your wit's end, like you're like, I can't take this no more. How much out of 10 is Uncle Bashir from 1 to 10? I imagine him to be plus 20, right? When you like can't stand it, that's where he gets worse. What is he
I
like for
can
you?
I cannot put it in the numbers, but I can put it on the words, you know.
Yeah, put in words.
In the same time when you're so fucking tired and you just want to say, look, Bashir, just don't talk to me. I'm saying to him, man, look, don't talk to me 5 minutes and after come back and we will talk, you know, because
Yeah, I
there's
understand. Yeah,
there's
I can
there's
imagine
times
him.
when you just want to say, look, fuck, you know.
I can imagine. He's like, man, he's like, hey, you're not throwing that jab properly, man. You're not throwing that jab properly. And you're
You
like,
know,
listen, I'm tired. I can't throw a jab no more.
no, let me tell you what I'm thinking in the moment. You know, we are hitting heavy back,
Yeah,
and he is sitting next to me and talking these stories about this guy also tired like you, and you like listen to him and you want to say, dude, it's a heavy back, not fucking tired, you know. But I am a tired, and like, come on, man, let me go, you know.
but that, and he'll keep talking more at you, right? And keep talking more, right?
Yeah, and he's sitting here like he is sitting now, but
Yeah, yeah.
he
And
is
you're thinking to
sitting.
yourself, I'm putting all this work in the bag, and you're sitting there with your hands folded, doing nothing.
It's
And
looking
I'm
like
going
this.
through the pain.
It's looking like this. I'm sitting, I'm watching down,
Yeah,
and he's somewhere on the side and saying to you, like, look, man, that guy also tired like you, same as you. You must go and you must punch harder,
yeah,
stronger, quicker. And you
yeah.
like, and it's just one things in my head. It's a heavy bag. Heavy bag. It's not tired, you know.
You know what, Vlad? I'd rather you than me, right? Rather you than me. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. I know. Uncle will
Yeah.
drive me round the bend and back. Hey, he'd probably make a great fighter out of me, but my head. Mm-mm.
But it's not different ways how to get
Of
ready
course.
by
But it's necessary. It's necessary. It's needed. It's what's going to make you go over the edge. How much do you want it? How much do you want to be heavyweight champion of the world? And if you don't put
If,
it in the gym,
look. If if
it,
if 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 everybody could go through this emotional and physical sacrifice, then everybody would be champions. That's why boxing is unique. It's
it is.
unique because once you get tired, as the great football coach Vince Lombardi said, fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Yeah.
That's why I try to push Vlad Sirenko to go past the fatigue. Because just when you give up, the other guys get ready to give up too. The other guys get ready to give up too. He's going through the same anguish,
Yeah,
same frustration, same
yeah.
pain that you're
I
going
don't.
through. And just when you give up, he's at the stage where he's ready to give up too. So if
I
you just
will.
push a little further, you'll have your way.
I will never understand that when my trainer, who looked just like you, was in the car, driving the car, 4 o'clock in the morning, doing the long run,
But
and in his car, he's got his bumper right behind me, telling me that same stuff.
the thing about me is that I've been through it. I've been
Painful.
through it. I've had a trainer that, oh my God, and he's the one that forged the mindset that I have now as a teacher. He
But
forged that mindset.
but
You know, he said
let me.
things. He said things to me that that trainers shouldn't say to their students.
That's it. There's certain things. Question your manhood.
He said some things that if I didn't know for a fact that the man loved me, I would have thought that he hated me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
said some
yeah, yeah.
very, very bad things to me.
Horrible things. Horrible
Horrible
things.
things. And I was saying, wow, this dude don't like me. But I realized later on that that's
He
just was
loved you.
him. That was just his way of saying that
I love you.
I do like you. I care about you. I care about everything that you do.
When trainer used to insult my manhood, insult me as a person, nothing to do with boxing. You're a waste of space. Why are you coming to this gym? All sorts of stuff that mess your head up. And all you do in return is to prove him wrong. You stick in there and say, I'm not letting him beat me today. I'm not letting him get.
The thing that I'm here. I'm here. I've traveled to Ukraine on many occasions. You know, and I'm here. I'm away from home. I've been here 6 weeks. 6 weeks I've been here. You know, trying to get Vlad Sirenko to understand the importance of what we're doing. Like I said, Vlad Sirenko has never, ever missed a
A training
sparring
session.
session. He sparred with JOYCE every day. He came out there every day. He woke up every day. I said, "Are you ready?" He said, "Yeah, I'm ready." And he go back and he was sparring JOYCE 6 rounds. 6 rounds. DUBOIS, Bwtm, Stavern, I mean, you name it. He's been at Tony Yoka. He's been in there, and he's never ever came to me and said, "I don't feel like it today." I've had a lot of the boxers, and they all found a reason why they couldn't show up. My toenail hurt. You know, I got a crick in my neck. You know, but Vlad Sirenko has never ever done it, and that shows me that he's serious about boxing. That shows me that he's serious about his position as a heavyweight contender. You know, and that really makes me feel good. That really makes me feel good as a teacher because this guy is serious about his boxing, and a lot of guys just don't have that kind of consistency. Consistency means everything to me. And whoever I came up to, this is the guy we're gonna spar. And Vlad Sirenko just says, okay, what time do we have to go? And he comes and he does his job. You can't beat that. You
God,
can't beat that.
that's the
But the,
difference between that's the difference between a good champion and a guy who's going to go on to be a great champion. There's a difference in the dedication.
you got people who talk that talk but don't walk the walk. It's easy to say in your living room that yeah, I'll be ready and I'll do this and I'll do that, I'll do it. But they do it day after day after day after day after day. We've gone through this whole sequence in preparation for this fight. And Vlad Sirenko has come in. He's done 12 rounds. He's done 12 rounds. He's done 10 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Not 6 rounds. He's doing 10 rounds, 10 rounds, 10 rounds, 10 rounds, 10 rounds, 12. How many rounds we could put in all together?
More than 100 and something.
We got 100, maybe 111 rounds
Wow.
for this fight. 111 rounds. That shows me that Vlad Sirenko is serious about winning this fight. 111 rounds. Uh,
It's for the eight. It's the
working with Vladimir Klitschko and working with Lennox Lewis over the years. These guys put in 125, 135 rounds for one fight. All right.
wow.
I've had Vlad Sirenko. I've had Lennox Lewis. I've had Vladimir Klitschko do 15 rounds. 15 rounds. You have critics that say, "Oh, why you doing 15 rounds?" Because you never know what round you're going to have to put 2 rounds into. You
Yeah,
don't know what round the guy's going to push you so hard that you're going to have to spend 2 rounds worth of energy. Those
yeah,
15 rounds is something in the bank. It's
absolutely.
something in the bank for one of those rounds. One of those rounds that you got to put 2 rounds worth of energy into.
Right, I want to
I'm
bring this to a
serious.
close.
Listen. I'm serious
Okay.
about winning the heavyweight championship of the world.
I know you are. I know you
I'm
are. I know
serious.
you all
I'm
guys are.
serious. And I push the guys that I'm with. Look, I'm working with Vlad Sirenko, but I'm pushing them and letting them know that I'm deadly serious about this here. You understand? And he understood that from day one. How long we
Yeah.
been together now? 16. We got 4 years.
5 years.
The summer of
5 years.
2016.
Okay, 4 years
All
or
right.
five almost.
And we've been there from right from the very beginning. We've been together from the ground up. When neither one of us had nothing. We had nothing when we started. From the ground up, we've been here and we've been grinding. And he's shown me. He's shown me through his efforts. He's shown me through his efforts, his will, his desire. Okay, all right. You
Right.
understand?
Before you go, finally, Uncle. What is your prediction for Joshua versus Pulev? Let's see if you can get this one right, Uncle. Joshua Pulev. Let's see if you can get this one right.
I think Joshua knocks him out inside of 9
Okay.
because
All right.
Pulev is going to listen. Pulev is the kind of guy. He's not going to go out there to survive. Pulev is going to try to take over, and I think he's going to get hit. I think he's going to get taken out of there. Pulev is not going to go out there and try to survive. He's not that kind of guy. He's not going to try to survive. He's going to go out there and try to take over, and in the process, he's going to get knocked out. That's my vision. That's my mindset in this fight.
Okay.
Pulev is not going to go out there. He's not going to go out there and try to stay safe. He's not that kind of guy.
I'm
Pulev
going.
said, "Look, huh?
I'm going opposite to you. I'm going opposite to you. I've been calling it for ages, so we'll see. But I think Pulev's double jab. Joshua's fight with Ruiz, I don't think he's got over yet. I know he was moving against Ruiz, who was overweight, right?
Like
And
I said, Pulev is not the kind of guy that's going to go out there and lie down.
no, he's going
He's
to
going
roll
to
the
fight.
dice.
He's going to
And
fight.
he believes in himself. If he believes in himself, he can punch and he's equipped.
Pulev is going to roll the dice, and I think he's going to get hit. He's not going to try to survive.
So Joshua's not going to get hit in this then.
Huh?
Joshua's not going to get hit.
Joshua's going to do the hit.
But Joshua's not going to get hit.
He's going to get hit. He damn right he's going to get hit.
And that chin, and you back your house on that chin.
Listen. I got to get ready to go because you're starting. I think you need reps. You need sleep.
Hey, Saturday night is judgment day for you and Vlad Sirenko. Because if Pulev does Joshua, right, I'm coming back for the peer review. If Pulev beats Joshua, I'm coming back for the peer review, right? I told you about Joyce and Dubois, and I'm going to tell you about Pulev. The double jab and the straight right hand for the middle.
Have a good night, Ingram.
Yeah, right. Good night. Love you both. Take care. All the best.
All the best.
Take care.
Adios.
Adios.